Thank you so much, Madam President, and through you to the members. I rise as my colleagues before me in strong support of this legislation. I speak this evening with gratitude for my colleagues who have led this effort and with pride to be a member of this Senate. While voting rights are under attack in many states across the nation, we are saying clearly today, not for Massachusetts voters, in the Commonwealth, we must do more to guarantee the right to vote. Heartfelt thanks to the Senate President for propelling this guarantee, for prioritizing voting rights expansion. Thank you to the Majority Leader, our Chair of Ways and Means, and the Chair of Election Laws for their diligent work on this legislation. And thank you as well to their tireless teams. Thank you to everyone who has spoken today and worked to strengthen an already strong bill. Because of all of you, we are voting today to protect our greatest superpower, our greatest strength, arguably the most important democratic foundation, our right to vote. With this superpower, our constituents can choose who represents them, can hold the powerful accountable. Government can and should work in the best interest of all. As my colleagues know, it doesn't always, but it can and it should. And the most important element of this imperative is an informed, active, and engaged electorate. This bill helps get this electorate to the polls. Much has been said in celebration of the critical advances this legislation makes, from same-day voter registration to mail-in voting and beyond. But I wanted to speak about the ways in which this legislation goes the distance for the smallest communities in our Commonwealth. The Senate today is demonstrating that we understand that one size does not fit all. We're demonstrating that legislation protecting voting rights must work equally well for all communities and not place undue burdens on certain municipalities. Earlier today, we adopted Amendment number 14, which I filed for towns that maintain a crank ballot box in lieu of electronic tabulators. If I were on the floor today, I'd hold up a beautiful wooden box used in communities like Leverett and Montague. Amendment number 14 asks the clerks in those communities to open and store mail-in ballots like clerks in towns with tabulators, rightly easing Election Day crush and ensuring quicker access to results. The amendment in question now, number 15, is equally attendant to small towns, and I respectfully ask the support of my colleagues. Those of us who represent small towns heard from our local clerks, some part-time, who worked valiantly in person during the height of COVID to safeguard and guarantee the right to vote. Many of them working upwards of 20 days without a single day off, asking neighbors, community members to volunteer their time because just one set of hands was wholly insufficient. This amendment, number 15, responds to their concerns, ensuring that as we expand voting options, we do so with nuance, we do so with consideration for our small towns, consideration for how many hours they can reasonably staff early in-person voting, consideration for the local clerks who will continue to work overtime because they value the work of elections. This legislation asks a lot of our local clerks. I know you know this, Madam President, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and neither have my colleagues. These are people who are used to having a lot asked of them. And so this amendment just ensures that we're asking them to do what is reasonable. It codifies regional equity right into our voting law. While I filed this amendment, Madam President, I must say that the true joy of this moment is that the gentleman from the Cape and Islands, Senator Sear, my colleague from Bristol and Norfolk, Senator Feeney, and the senator from Norfolk, Bristol, and Middlesex, Senator Roush, made it much stronger. And what's more, this amendment in every matter of regional equity, I am blessed to have tremendous colleagues from the 4 western counties, with special thanks today to the gentle lady from Spencer, Senator Goby, and the gentleman from Pittsfield, Senator Hines. Madam President, I can't close without offering heartfelt thanks to the clerks of the Commonwealth. The clerks in my district are as innovative and passionate as they are scrappy and tireless. They are my teachers and have made me smarter. And I thank these local heroes who safeguard and administer this right to vote for the rest of us. Thank you, Madam President.